Your dog has been trying to tell you something every single day. And the moment you finally understand what it is, the way you see them will shift forever. Most owners believe they're giving their dog everything they need. But there's a gap. A quiet, invisible gap between what your dog is actually asking for and what they're receiving. And that gap is slowly wearing down the bond your dog is working so hard to build with you. Stay until the end, because the final point will completely reframe what you thought you knew about your dog's love. Welcome to the Pet Mind Lab. If you're here because you truly want to understand your dog, hit subscribe right now. Let's get into it. 1. Letting your dog be the first thing you acknowledge in the morning. Here's something rarely discussed in the dog world, and it's so simple that most people will overlook it. But if you take just one thing from this video, let it be this. The first 5 minutes after you wake up are quietly setting the emotional tone for your dog's entire day. Not their breakfast, not their walk, not their toys. Those first 5 minutes. Dogs are pack animals. That's not just a metaphor. It's a biological reality woven into their DNA over thousands of years of evolving alongside us. Their brains are wired to look to a social anchor. In the wild, that was the pack leader. In your home, that's you. And when you wake up and reach for your phone before you reach for your dog, you send a signal that lands deep in their nervous system. That signal says, "You come second." A study in the journal Applied Animal Behavior Science found that dogs who receive consistent, warm morning attention from their owners have measurably lower cortisol levels throughout the day. Less stress, calmer behavior, a more settled system. All from a moment that takes less than a minute. You don't need a big production. You don't need to wrestle them on the floor at dawn. Just wake up, find their eyes, and say their name with genuine warmth. Let them have that moment. Here's what's actually happening when you do that. Your dog has been waiting while you slept. You are the center of their world. When you acknowledge them first, before coffee, before your phone, before anything else, their brain registers something no treat or toy can replicate. It registers, "I matter here." And a dog who believes they matter is a fundamentally different animal than one who isn't sure. Keep watching, because the difference between those two dogs will become painfully clear by the time we reach point 6. 2. Allowing your dog to sniff until they are satisfied. How many times have you given the leash a little tug because your dog stopped to investigate a scent for the 10th time in a block? How many times have you said, "Let's go," and kept moving because your schedule was tight? Almost every owner has done this, and almost no one realizes what they just took away from their dog. To understand this, you have to understand how your dog experiences reality. Humans are visual. We process the world through what we see. Dogs are not like us. A dog's nose contains up to 300 million olfactory receptors. We have about 6 million. The part of their brain dedicated to analyzing scent is 40 times larger than ours, proportionally. What does that mean in practice? When your dog stops to smell a lamppost or a patch of grass for a full minute, they aren't wasting time. They are reading. They are absorbing a story. Who has been here? How long ago? What was their mood? Was a friend or a stranger passing through? Every smell is a sentence. Every surface is a chapter. Your neighborhood is a library your dog has been trying to explore for years. And every time you pull them away, you're closing the book mid-sentence. Research published in Applied Animal Cognition showed that dogs allowed extended, uninterrupted sniffing sessions during walks displayed significantly higher levels of optimism in later behavioral tests compared to dogs who walked the same distance but weren't given that freedom. Read that again. Optimism. Not just less stress, optimism. The way your dog uses their nose influences how they see the world. This is the walk they truly need. Not the quickest route. A slower walk where their nose leads and you follow with patience. 20 minutes of genuine sniffing does more for your dog's mental state than an hour of brisk physical exercise. And here's the deeper shift. When you stop pulling and start allowing, something changes between you. Your dog begins to trust that being with you means their needs will be honored. That trust is the foundation everything else in this video is built on. Keep watching because we're just getting started. 3. Understanding the weight of your voice. Do you talk to your dog throughout the day? Do you say their name just because you feel like it? Greet them when you walk in the door? If you do, you're doing something more powerful than you might realize. If you don't, start today. A 2022 study from researchers in Budapest used brain imaging to measure how dogs respond to their owner's voice. What they found was extraordinary. Dogs don't just recognize your voice. They process the emotional tone in the same part of the brain that humans use to interpret emotional cues from others. Your dog's brain has evolved a dedicated system just to understand how you speak to them. Here's what the data revealed. When owners used a warm, affectionate tone, the kind people naturally use with babies, dogs showed immediate physical signs of relaxation. Their heart rate slowed, their muscles eased, their eyes softened. When the same owner used a flat, distracted tone, the dog's nervous system stayed on alert, not because the words were different, but because the warmth was absent. Your voice is one of the most powerful tools you have to regulate your dog's emotional state. Every time you greet them softly, every time you murmur their name with affection, you are reaching into their nervous system and signaling, "You are safe. You can relax. I am here." No calming spray, no anxiety wrap, no supplement can do what your voice can do when it carries genuine warmth. The beautiful thing is, your dog already knows the difference. They've always known. The question is whether you'll be consistent enough for them to depend on it. Stick with me because point 4 is where most owners make a mistake they don't even see coming. 4. Playing with your dog like the game matters. When was the last time you truly played with your dog? Not tossing a toy while scrolling on your phone, not kicking a ball their way without really watching, truly played, fully present, fully engaged. Because there's a difference between keeping your dog busy and actually fulfilling them. And that difference is why so many household dogs develop anxiety, destructive habits, and what behaviorists are increasingly calling canine depression. Dogs aren't wolves in domestic clothing. Their instincts haven't been replaced. They've been redirected. Every breed, from the smallest terrier to the largest mastiff, carries a prey drive, a chase drive, a retrieve drive. These aren't quirks, they're biological necessities. And when those drives never find meaningful expression, the energy doesn't vanish. It finds a new target: your couch, your shoes, your peace of mind. A study in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that dogs lacking sufficient interactive play had significantly higher rates of separation anxiety, aggression, and repetitive behaviors. These aren't bad dogs. They're unfulfilled dogs. So what does real play look like? It means you move. You make the toy unpredictable. You build a rhythm. Slow tension, a pause, a sudden burst. You let your dog win. Let them grab the toy, shake it, feel the satisfaction of the catch. You end with a cool down, a few quiet moments to bring their system back down. That sequence, the build, the chase, the capture, the release, isn't just recreation. It's a ritual that confirms their identity. It tells their brain, "I am capable. I am seen. I am alive." And when you're the one on the other end of that game, fully present, you become more than a playmate. You become the one who understands who they truly are. That's a bond no amount of passive affection can replicate. Keep watching. Point 5 is about something your dog does every day that you've likely been misreading. 5. Giving your dog a space that is truly their own. Does your dog have a place they go when the world feels like too much? Not a crate you used for training. A place they choose. A corner, a bed, a spot where no one bothers them, no one calls them, no one expects anything. If your answer is no, your dog has been living without something essential. And the effects are almost certainly showing up in their behavior. Here's the science. Dogs are social, but they also need withdrawal. The ability to step away from noise, from touch, from demands, and enter a state of genuine rest is a neurological need. A study in the journal Animals found that dogs with a dedicated, owner-respected retreat space showed significantly lower signs of chronic stress compared to dogs in homes without such a space. The key phrase is owner-respected. The space only works if the humans understand. When the dog goes there, they are off-limits. No calling, no following, no reaching out. They are not to be disturbed until they choose to return. This is where many owners unintentionally get it wrong. They give the dog a bed but call them off it moments later. They set up a crate but open it mid-rest to check in. They reach down to pet the dog the second they lie down. Each interruption teaches the dog the same lesson. There is nowhere in this home where I am truly safe to rest. That lesson compounds. A dog who can't rest can't recover. A dog who can't recover accumulates stress. And that stress shows up as behavior problems, when it's actually a cry for a need that hasn't been met. Give your dog a specific spot. Make it comfortable. Let them claim it. And when they go there, treat it as sacred. Because to them, it is. And when you understand point 6, you'll see why all of this matters more than you ever imagined. 6. Remaining still when your dog chooses to rest against you. You know the moment. You sit down and your dog walks over slowly, circles, and then presses their body against yours, or climbs up and settles across your lap. Your arm goes numb. You can't reach the remote. You are trapped. And you don't move. Most people see this as acute inconvenience. But what's happening in that moment is one of the most profound acts of trust an animal can offer. Sleep is the most vulnerable state any living creature enters. When an animal sleeps, their defenses are down, their awareness dims, their ability to detect threats vanishes. In the wild, a dog would never sleep pressed against another creature unless some ancient part of their brain had decided, beyond all doubt, that this creature would not harm them while they were helpless. When your dog chooses to fall asleep touching you, they aren't just being comfortable. They are making a declaration. They are saying, "Out of every place I could be, I have chosen you. You are my safest place." And how you respond in that moment either honors that declaration or slowly erodes it. Every time you stay still, every time you sacrifice your own comfort and simply let them sleep, you answer their declaration with one of your own. I see what you've given me. I will not take it for granted. Think back to everything we've covered. The morning greeting that told them they matter. The walks where their nose led the way. The warmth in your voice that reached their nervous system. The play that honored their instincts. The retreat space that let them truly rest. Every single one of those was a deposit into a silent account your dog has been keeping. And when they press their body against yours and close their eyes, that's the moment the account comes full circle. That's your dog showing you the sum of everything you've built. That's trust made physical. You will never see that moment the same way again. And you shouldn't, because it was never just a nap. It was everything you built together arriving all at once. If this video changed how you see your dog, share it with someone who loves their dog and deserves to know this. Subscribe to K9 Mind. We're here every week, helping you understand the animal who chose to spend their one life with you. They deserve to be understood. And so do you.